You should travel alone. I know it sounds scary, and a lot of my friends find it very uncomfortable. They talk to me about their anxieties traveling alone, like loneliness or getting around a new place on your own. But I promise you, it is an experience like no other. And I think everyone should do it at the very least once in their life. Ideally twice, because the first time is the scariest and you enjoy it way more the second time around when you've built a bit of confidence. And listen, yes, it might be uncomfortable, but you overcome the discomfort. You build such self-confidence in yourself and your abilities when you've had to rely on yourself to problem solve or figure it out on your own, knowing there is no other choice. You build resilience and learn to depend on yourself because no one's really coming to save you. I've been in situations where I had to find a solution and not panic because there was no other option. I could not afford to panic, and you build trust in yourself in doing so and eliminate the discomfort dealing with things alone. Whether that's navigating a new city and figuring out public transport, or in dealing with new people and having to remember the few words you know in another language that you're really not comfortable speaking, or in going to places alone like restaurants or concerts and knowing how much you might stand out. And listen, I know this from experience, so trust me, I get it, but you stop caring when you're so comfortable in your own skin and in yourself. You become so absorbed in the moment that you really don't care about the people around you because you're so focused on yourself. You're so absorbed in yourself, and not in a bad way, but rather in a quiet, confident way. Of course, I will admit that having some self-confidence to begin with and being comfortable in your own skin already before you travel makes it so much easier, but that confidence multiplies with solo travel. Besides, traveling alone allows you to be so selfish in the best way. You get to do whatever your whims ask of you, and you don't have to worry about accommodating someone else. You can always be the one to pick where you'll eat out, and you can go to every museum or whatever other place of interest to you at your own pace. You become so much more connected to yourself and your desires, and you become so much more present. I often get the concern of loneliness, but honestly, you don't have time to feel lonely when you're too busy enjoying yourself doing things you're deeply interested in. So what if you eat out alone? So what if you grab coffee and sit and read on your own? So what if you attend exhibitions or gigs or events on your own? I don't feel lonely when I'm biting into something delicious or seeing one of my favorite artists work for the first time, and neither will you. It's hard to feel lonely when you're so unbelievably engrossed in the present moment, when all of your senses are engaged in the here and now and you're not concerned with anything outside of you or your control. Besides, you're never actually alone. You're surrounded by people, many of whom are willing to help if you need it. You might even meet strangers who become friends, who you end up staying in touch with for years and even see again when you revisit their city. And it's more likely you talk to them and make these connections when you're alone than if you're with people. And aside from them, there are also people in the world who you encounter only once, but they still add something positive. It's easy to focus on all the bad in people nowadays, but I need you to shift your focus towards the good in people, because once you do, you begin to experience more of it, because we attract what we focus on. I want you to be stubbornly optimistic, especially in a foreign place that might, at times at least, feel hostile. As a painfully obvious Muslim woman, I understand this and the uncertainty that comes with it when you're in some countries or areas. But my phone died twice this trip, once in each country, and it was one of these situations I found myself in that I had to not panic and find a solution because it was my way of navigating. So in one country, I wrote down the directions and stations just before my phone died, but had to ask for help to find the first metro station after I felt I might have been going in the wrong direction from the only couple on the street I was on, and I had to trust that they would be nice enough to help. And they were super helpful, and the girl insisted on revising all the navigation points I wrote down that would get me all the way to the hotel, not just the station I needed to find. I then, sadly, again, forgot my power bank in Madeira, and I was on the other side of the island trying to drive back. So this time I had way more navigation required. And although I wrote everything down, I panicked a little at one point because I wrote go straight, but technically straight was left, and I doubted myself, though I was right in the end. But I stopped at a few shops on my way till I finally found someone at the third one who has the same charger as me, and they let me charge my phone before I even told them I was going to buy anything from them. And truly, I only did because I was so grateful to them. And because of this random man's kindness, I was able to navigate my way back with much more ease of mind. So could something scary happen, like you forgetting the power bank in your room, even though you told yourself you should pack it right then and there so that you are not lost? Sure, but at the end, you realize it's nowhere near as scary as you would think, and you end up finding a solution. And that alone casts another vote of confidence in your ability to act logically and helpfully when you need to. And last, but certainly not least, traveling alone might allow you to learn new things and have new experiences you might not with other people for whatever reason. Maybe they're just not interested in the thing that you want to do, Or maybe you'd be embarrassed trying something new and probably failing in front of people you know, and you're more comfortable doing it in front of strangers who you know you'll never see again. So I just wanted to share a few tips for when you decide to travel alone. First, let go of any expectations that this trip will be perfect or without flaws, because things will probably go wrong, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world, and it doesn't ruin the entire trip as a whole. I personally also like to fill in certain categories, and these will obviously depend on what it is you look for from a trip, but mine include history, art, physical activity, performance, local cuisine. These are the points that I want to hit every trip. So I'll pick a destination that fulfills them, or at the very least, most of them. And then I will fill in each category with relevant activities and things to do or places to go. For example, for a performance, I would like to ideally attend a concert, or if not, then maybe a musical or a play. For history, I specifically want to find historic places with interesting background stories that I could be immersed in while going on a guided tour, for example. This just ensures that you have a rich and substance-filled trip ahead of you, not just a place that you thought looked cool and then you end up going and realizing that there's actually not much that you want to do there. And then you could, of course, think of practical things like budget and where to stay. I also try to organize my dates according to an event I'm attending. So I always look up if, for example, a concert is happening in a month I'm interested in traveling, and I fit my dates around that event. Anyway, these are just quick points, and if you're interested in going much deeper about this, I would be happy to do a whole video kind of breaking down exactly how to do that. So let me know in the comments below if that's something you're interested in, and I will make sure to do that soon. I'll link any solo trip vlogs that are public on this channel if you would like to check them out in the description down below, from the newest to the oldest, so like from top to bottom. The newest one before this one includes how I met my friend Lena, if you're interested in that backstory. Otherwise, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, because that really helps me and the channel out. If you want more wellness and lifestyle content from me, then you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok, which will be on the screen and linked down below. And if you want more content on here, then you can click either video on the screen, and I will see you in the next one.